Hello, everyone. I'm here today with my girlfriend, Madison.
What's up, everybody?
Thanks for recording with me, Maddie.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
The reason I have Maddie on today is because we are going to Vegas in a couple days. And while we're there, we're going to be visiting Zak Bagans Haunted Museum, which is somewhere that I've been wanting to go. And I'm super excited about it, but I'm also scared. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the museum, how it got started, what's there, some stories from the museum, and then we're going to record a little bit more after we go to Vegas and experience it so we can talk about how it was in real life.
Exciting. I'm so excited, you guys.
I'm really scared. I'm Annalise.
And I'm Madison.
And this is Spirit Static. I'm going to start out by telling you a little bit about Zak Bagans and how the museum came to be.
Okay.
Feel free to interject or add any commentary.
Amazing.
And then just make sure you're talking, you're not like touching the mic, but you're talking. Yeah. Which you're doing fine. You're doing great. I'm just saying reminders just in case because I've had so many recordings that turned out terribly. And I am very sad. And I have to re-edit or redo multiple episodes. Hours and hours worth of work.
Well, hopefully you don't have to edit this one too much.
I hope so too. Okay, so listen in because this is where we're going in a few days.
Okay.
Listen in.
I'm locked in right now.
Listen in.
Perfect.
The Haunted Museum by Zak Bagans resides in downtown Las Vegas, consisting of a large collection of haunted items and items once owned by well-known serial killers. Zak Bagans came to fame through producing and hosting the show Ghost Adventures, which debuted in 2006. Did you ever watch Ghost Adventures?
I did not.
I feel like I've maybe seen bits and pieces of it, but I never was fully really into it.
Okay.
I really know more about this guy because of Sam and Colby. Shout out Sam and Colby.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I found out about the museum too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Zak's deep fascination with the paranormal started around 10 years old when he would search for spooky collectibles at his mom's antique shop and at local garage sales. After his Ghost Adventures success and years of being a pioneer paranormal investigator, he opened the Haunted Museum in October 2017. So it's almost 10 years old.
Wow.
The museum is featured in numerous guides and was voted the #1 best haunted destination in America by the USA Today in 2020.
Wow.
The museum is so haunted that there is a mandatory waiver for guests to fill out before entering.
That's crazy.
Yeah, super crazy. Guests experience dark and paranormal phenomena on a daily basis. Some of the most common experiences include feeling intense anxiety, anger, dread, and the feeling of being watched. Some guests report cold spots, nausea, dizziness, headaches, or being touched or pushed.
Wow. Do you feel like you're going to experience anything?
I feel like I might. I feel a little bit more scared because I had a dream about the museum last night.
Ooh, do tell.
Because I've been not investigating. I've been what's the word? Anticipating us going. But I had a dream that literally the minute I walked in to the museum, I was like just felt like immersed in dread. And it was so bad that I went inside and I walked out and I was like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna do the museum. I'm like it feels terrible. It feels just I can't do it. But then I ended up changing my mind. But the people I was with, family members, they abandoned me and left me alone in the museum, which made the dream worse, obviously.
Okay.
And I remember specifically there's a room with a bunch of haunted dolls. So I was in that room in my dream and I was trying to see that one doll, Peggy the Doll, which we'll talk about, but I didn't get to see her. But yeah, I had that dream last night. So funny that we're now talking about it today.
Yeah.
The museum is set in an old house that is said to be haunted itself. It was built in 1938 and was home to one of the most affluent families in Las Vegas. It is said that an 8-year-old boy within the family died there, but I wasn't able to find much specific information about the death. I just kind of found more general information. I did my best.
Okay.
Yeah. When the rest of the family eventually died, the house was said to be haunted by their spirits in a negative way, not like positive ghosts, but like a dark energy there.
Okay.
When the house was eventually abandoned, there were rumors that satanic rituals were held in the basement of the house during the 1970s, including a human sacrifice.
What?
And to this day, there is a pentagram drawn on the floor.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So Maddie and I have tickets to do we have like the all access tickets. Like we got a little bit higher than general admission for the museum tour. So we will get to go down to the basement where the pentagram is.
I'm so excited.
And I think we're going to have to like maybe crawl. There's a part where you have to like, crawl or like kind of shimmy through like kind of a
shimmy through.
Shimmy down to the devil.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of nervous about that because I'm a little bit claustrophobic. I'm really scared. I feel like I'm gonna, like, you know how I am. Maddie took me to a haunted house and I ran.
Yeah,
because
she
I was
did.
so scared. And so this is like a real life, no jokes haunted house. Except it's not like people are going to be chasing us and like popping out and stuff, thank God. But I am scared for like the dark energies that will be in there. And I'm also scared because Madison loves to cause trouble.
Guilty.
And I'm nervous. I've had a conversation with you already about
I did pinky promise.
Yeah, about not taunting the spirits or taunting the ghosts because we do not need anything coming home with us. And it's scary, it's no joke. And we're going to also bring offerings to the museum for some of the spirits. So I'm not sure what we're going to bring yet. I know some people bring locks of hair or they cut off part of their hair.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
Some people bring, I think, just like cash or maybe even chips from like poker chips, maybe.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got to look into more what we should bring as an offering. So,
okay.
Yeah. I got to burp. I got to burp.
Yeah, burp it, baby, burp it.
Give me 10. I can't stop singing that. It's my stim today.
Shout out to Love Island.
So we're going to go over the 5 most haunted items at the museum.
Okay.
There's hundreds of items and stuff there, but we're going to focus on the top 5 most haunted. And those are the Dybbuk box, Dr. Kevorkian's Volkswagen death van, the original staircase from Indiana's Demon House, the Devil's Rocking Chair, and Peggy the Doll.
Okay.
And we're going to go through each one.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the Dybbuk box. A Dybbuk is a, quote, restless and usually malicious spirit in Jewish mythology that can possess the living. It can be trapped in a box and later expelled by a rabbi, end quote. This particular Dybbuk box was bought in 2001 at an estate sale in Spain. The buyer was a Holocaust survivor who was immigrating to the U.S. After buying the box, he found out that the box was a family heirloom and he wanted to give it back. But the family who sold it to him would not take it back.
Oh,
Red flag.
That is a red flag.
And the family also warned him never to open it.
Oh my goodness.
So they're like, take it. We don't want it anymore. We swear. Just make sure you don't open it, by the way.
And we don't want it back.
And we don't want it back ever. So he keeps the box. He ignored the warning and opened the box.
Oh.
He found 2 1920s pennies, a lock of blonde hair, a lock of brown hair, a small statue, a wine goblet, 1 dried rosebud, and a candle holder. That was what was in the box.
Interesting.
After opening it, he started experiencing nightly horrific nightmares. He decided to give it to his mother.
That's messed
like,
up.
what the fuck? He decided to give it to his mother, assuming she would be safe because she was not the one to open the box.
That's so dirty.
But she shortly died from a stroke.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, it's not funny, R.I.P. But, like, bro, why would you do that?
Yeah, that's... That's so messed up.
Imagine me getting, like, a super haunted box and giving it to my mom. Like, I just
That's
may
so sad,
yeah,
though.
really sad.
We love Mama K.
Yeah. Everyone who has owned this box has reported nightmares and the smell of jasmine flowers and cat urine surrounding the box.
Ew.
Mhm.
Mm.
Since being at Zak's Haunted Museum, holes have appeared in the walls around the artifact. Many visitors report seeing a black cloaked figure hovering around the box.
Do you think we'll see them?
A cloaked figure?
Yeah.
Potentially. Also, there's some story about Post Malone having some kind of experience with the Dybbuk box because he went to go see the Haunted Museum
Mm-hmm.
and he had some weird thing happen. I didn't include it in our episode. I didn't research it, but look that up if you're interested.
Okay.
Listeners, including my mom is probably the only listener. Okay. My mom and Auntie Melva
Yes. And Auntie Robin.
and Auntie Robin and Rachel Figner. Maybe. Next, we're going to talk about Dr. Kevorkian's Volkswagen death van. The whole van is there at the museum.
That's pretty awesome.
Dr. Kevorkian pioneered the concept of physician-assisted suicide for terminally ill people. He admitted to euthanizing over 130 people on a small bed in the back of his Volkswagen van. People who were not terminally ill and did not ask for physician-assisted suicide began dying under his care, and he was eventually convicted of murder in 1999.
Wow. How many years did he go on the down low with that?
I'm not sure. I didn't get super in depth with each item. I just kind of kept it to brief summaries. That's all I have for the van.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, we're going to talk about the original staircase from Indiana's Demon House. The Indiana Demon House was famous for a paranormal event in which a mother reported that her 3 children were possessed by demons. Her 9-year-old boy walked up a wall in front of a caseworker and mental health specialist.
What?
So they were able to corroborate the story. And her 7-year-old boy choked his brother so hard that 2 adults were needed to pry his hands away.
Wow.
The little girl in the family was said to hover over her bed while asleep. The kids were evaluated by mental health professionals and were found to be mentally sound.
What?
Yeah, so they couldn't find, the kids were mentally ill or experiencing trauma or, all the different causes that can lead to, deviant behavior.
Okay.
So, seems pretty legit to me. And the original staircase from their house is in the museum.
Wow.
Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
Me too.
I think I'm going to experience something, though.
You do?
I feel like I'm going to get, a scratch mark or, I don't know,
That'd
something.
be crazy. Okay, so more about the staircase. Zak Bagans bought the home that this happened in Indiana in 2014 and demolished it due to the demonic possession. He kept the home's staircase for his museum. It now lives in a dingy corner of the museum on a pile of dirt from the original house.
What?
Yeah, he brought dirt back. The construction workers who installed the staircase in the museum walked off mid-job and refused to come back.
Really?
Museum visitors report nausea and fainting spells while near the staircase. So, pretty creepy, pretty creepy.
That is pretty creepy.
Yeah. I'm having so much fun, I don't want to stop recording with you.
I know. I'm having fun too listening. We should have done this sooner.
Next, we're going to talk about the Devil's Rocking Chair. This rocking chair is associated with the possession of 11-year-old David Glatzel and inspired the 3rd film in the Conjuring series called The Devil Made Me Do It. Have you seen Conjuring movies?
I have not.
Okay, I haven't either. I'm honestly too scared. I'm too scared to watch the movies, but I'll go to this museum. The chair was seen rocking on its own, and a demonic entity was reportedly seen sitting in the chair during an exorcism by Ed and Lorraine Warren. After the demon was exorcised from David, it is said to have possessed David's sister's boyfriend, who then stabbed his landlord more than 20 times with a pocket knife.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Yeah. This exhibit in the museum was closed in 2019 for a period of time. because it was so negative. Um, I have a little clip from an article where Zak Bagans is talking about the closure of the exhibit, and I'm gonna read you a quote.
Okay. It wasn't due to COVID?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay. Quote, "This is the first time where I have decided to shut down an exhibit down at the Haunted Museum due to multiple people being affected in connection to unexplained paranormal activity of the Devil's Rocking Chair," Bagan said. 6 people all shared the same disturbing, uncontrollable crying during the short time I opened the exhibit. One of them being a guest who also collapsed directly above the Devil's Rocking Chair on the stairs, end quote.
Wow.
He also said, quote, "Me and a friend felt an evil presence move between us as we were sitting down in my living room, which then caused my dog to growl," Bagans explained. "I then became very affected, began speaking strange things about God and Satan with my head down, and then my friend began to cry uncontrollably and literally ran out of my house," end quote. So this wasn't like they were in the museum, but they were in Zak Bagans' house, and it seemed to be like around the time where all this stuff was going on with the rocking chair, and he associated it with the rocking chair, I guess. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Do you think well, I kinda hope someone experiences something in our group when we go.
Well, Maddie.
Oh,
I don't not hope that because it would be interesting, but, like, I also am scared for me and you. I
well, I hope
I
we're not the ones
I know.
experiencing it.
I feel like I'm really sensitive to stuff,
Oh,
so
goodness.
I'm scared.
Well, I hope it doesn't affect you, but I hope it affects someone,
Yeah.
just so we could kinda get, like, a glimpse of what could happen,
Mhm.
but I hope it's not, like, anything too crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they say stuff happens to people every day. Yeah,
Wow.
whether it be, like, headaches or nausea, fainting, stuff like
Well,
that.
you're prone to headaches, so you might get
I
one
know.
naturally.
Yeah. When me and Cassidy when we just recorded about Dorothea Puente and we were going around to some of the locations in Sac, I got a headache when we were driving around to those, like, locations.
Oh, no, we
Yeah.
gotta load you up on ibuprofen before we
I
go,
know.
and Max salt.
I know. Um, okay. Also, me and you watched so Madison and I watched the Sam and Colby YouTube video of them investigating the Haunted Museum. I've watched that twice now because I think it's so good. But do you remember in their video, remember they were sitting down, they took turns sitting in the Devil's Rocking Chair?
Yes.
And it was pretty crazy.
That was pretty crazy.
It was like really crazy. I highly recommend watching Sam and Colby's paranormal investigation of the museum.
You are now able to see the rocking chair again, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's gonna be cool.
Yeah. We are now going to talk about our last main item, Peggy the Doll. Peggy was found in a normal suburban garden shed in the UK around 2014. The doll is said to cause migraines, chest pressure, strokes, and even heart attacks if you look into her eyes, even through photos and videos online, which me and Maddie have already looked her in the eye through video.
Yeah, and didn't experience anything.
Yeah. There are theories of the origin of her haunting, but nothing concrete or confirmed. So no one really knows why she's so haunted, which kind of makes it even weirder, especially that she's like known as like one of the most haunted items, but like we don't know much of a background other than her found in a garden shed in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see if they have anything else to say about it when we are on the museum tour because we might get like a lot more information that we didn't know about before.
Okay.
So we'll see. I wanted you to have an overview so that it kind of gets us more excited.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be looking Peggy right in her eyes.
I also copied a couple Reddit stories so that I could read what people have to say about the museum on Reddit or any like weird stories they have. And I have a couple here.
Okay.
One of them is by a deleted user. Otherwise, I would give credit to the user, but it says deleted.
Okay.
Posted 1 year ago. And it says, "I went there last summer and this woman started humming really loudly and then started making choking noises and started projectile vomiting and shitting her
Oh
pants."
my god.
Her husband, sorry, it's not funny, you guys, but
It kinda is though, like, imagine witnessing that.
Her husband dragged her out to the parking lot, and an ambulance pulled up a couple minutes later. When the EMTs got out and approached her, her eyes were dark and she started humming again. They ended up taking her to the hospital, and after our 2-hour weird tour, another woman started humming the same tune as we all left. I want to go back. End quote.
Oh, no.
So that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
All right. Next Reddit story posted 1 year ago by SASSS Hayes, HAYS, Sass Hayes. And this is the Reddit thread r/ghost adventures. It says, my Zak Bagans Haunted Museum experience. My husband and I just went to the museum yesterday for his birthday. We have been into the GA show since the beginning and are huge horror/paranormal/macabre fanatics. We were in high spirits after already having a blast in Las Vegas the previous days. Our group was also all longtime fans, and there was even another birthday in the group. Positive vibrations were flowing as we waited for our tour to start. However, as soon as we entered the main living room, the positive vibes left me and I started feeling nauseous and like I was floating or on uneven ground. Once we proceeded to the Annalise room, I was super on edge. There's an Annalise room, baby.
Is there really?
Yeah, I guess so. It's spelled Anneliese.
Okay.
So I'm actually not sure what the Annalise room is all about. Should we do a quick search?
We should.
Well, or we could do it after.
Okay, let's do it after.
Okay, once we proceeded to the Annalise room, I was super on edge. I tried to convince myself it was nerves and just overall vibe of being in a spooky setting, but after a few more exhibits and still feeling uneasy and on edge, we made our way to the Kevorkian's van, where I just started uncontrollably sobbing and felt like I was going to pass out. It felt like someone else's feelings, and I had no idea where the tears were coming from because I wasn't scared. It just felt completely involuntary. The staff allowed me to step outside for a breather and said it's really common in that room and that whatever energy is in there likes to make women pass out. They also informed me that the energy in the museum has been supercharged since they brought items in from Bobby Mackey's. I cried in the parking lot for a few minutes, but ultimately pulled myself together because I was absolutely not bailing on the tour. We joined back in with the group where I was touched in the Peggy the Doll room on my back, right after our tour guide told something to get off her leg. Then we heard the word evil come over the spirit box. I was also touched on my cheek in the devil's chair room, and after that started to feel like I was going to pass out again. We didn't make it all the way through to view the Devil House stairs because at that point I knew I had to tap out. Luckily, that was the last exhibit anyways. Even as an advanced spooky girl and a self-proclaimed sensitive, I can honestly say I felt like shit the whole tour. Nausea, tingling, floating sensation, and faintness. Some rooms were more intense than others, but it truly was an incredible and frightening experience. I now believe I am a sensitive more than ever. I actually ended up getting violently sick the whole evening after leaving the museum, so my husband and I cleansed ourselves, our house, and performed a protection prayer after our flight. Our dumbasses went straight from the museum to the airport. SMH LOL. If you are a sensitive person or have any intuitive gifts, please be aware the museum really is no joke. You do not need to see apparitions or anomalies to feel their energy.
Oh, no.
As much as the tour was spiritually debilitating for me, we both loved how carefully curated each exhibit was. The tour was over 2.5 hours, which I felt was well worth the money, and the staff was incredible for taking care of me during my Kevorkian incident. I may need a few years to recover from the experience, but I'd love to go back again someday. Zak may exaggerate things on the show, but the museum is 100% the real deal. Also want to add my husband felt absolutely nothing, which just goes to show how energies affect people differently. And that is the end of the story.
Wow. Imagine being one of the staff members that has to do the tour
Every day.
But them, like, seeing how it affects people
Yeah.
every time they give a tour.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they experience it almost every single tour.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'd love to know how they kind of handle having this as their job, being around this dark energy all the time.
Yeah, I wonder if it affects their personal life, and I feel like we should ask that question when we see them.
Yeah, if we have the chance to, we should ask.
Yeah. But I feel like both of us are really in tune with our emotions and, like, more on the sensitive and, like, could feel energies, and I think it's gonna affect both of us. I hope not, but I feel like it will. If it affects energies,
Yeah. I mean, I think
yikes.
even thinking about the dream that I had last night and me immediately walking in and feeling like shit and having to leave, just it makes me so scared, so
Well, we'll
nervous.
just have a strong energy, come in, think positive,
Well, we're
do all
gonna
the things
we're
we
gonna
could.
pray. I would like to pray beforehand.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
Not that I'm religious, but I do want to say some kind of like I want to say a prayer. And I also am gonna bring Palo Santo.
Okay.
So we can kind of prepare beforehand and then do what we need to do after, just because, I wanna experience the spirits, but I don't want anything sticking to us.
Yeah, that would be awful, bringing something home.
And that's all I have
Okay.
on the Haunted Museum. Um, any other thoughts about it?
No, I'm just super excited.
Me too. So Madison and I are going to hop back on this recording after we go to Vegas. We're also going to be staying at Circus Circus, which is the most haunted hotel in Vegas, and I'm going to do an episode about that too. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will talk to you in a few days.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on, Maddie.
Of course. Anytime, my little honey bun. Welcome, Annalise Manhart.
Thank you. Thanks for welcoming me to my own podcast.
You're welcome.
So me and Maddie are back from Las Vegas. We got back a few days ago, and we're here today to recap our experience at Zak Bagans Haunted Museum.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have some notes on my phone so that I don't miss anything that stood out. Okay, so before going to the museum, I was definitely nervous. Even approaching the outside of the museum, I was feeling like antsy. I was feeling a little bit scared, a little bit nervous. I feel like I could fucking smell the hauntedness oozing out of the building.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
That place definitely had all kinds of smells. But we checked in. All the staff was super nice, and we were the 12th and 13th people to join our tour group. Ooh, number 13. And then we went inside. We had to wait inside the lobby of the museum for a bit with our group before starting the tour. In the lobby, there's already like a bunch of haunted items all around on the walls. There's pictures of celebrities that have been to the museum. It was immediately creepy, even just in that part. And we were all just kind of waiting. I went to the bathroom like 4 times, I think.
You sure did.
I did. I did.
The pee anxiety was hitting hard.
Yeah, like I peed 4 times before we left for the tour. And I had a headache when we were kind of checking in and then in the lobby of the building.
I did too.
And then during that time, everyone was just kind of standing around. We were listening to our tour guide explain the tour. And there was a girl there with her friend, and it was her birthday, I guess, but she like broke down and started crying. When they first walked in, I could tell that she was nervous. And then she started crying in the lobby, and she was like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want to go on the tour. And one of the employees was saying, you don't have to do it. Don't worry about it. You can just not do it. So she left and opted out, and her friend stayed and did the tour by herself.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I was hoping something like that would happen within the group, but I thought it would happen while like we were like in the middle of the tour.
Yeah, but before we even started, someone was like, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Da-da-da.
All right now. Have you seen that video?
Yeah.
No one else knows what I'm talking about when
Really?
I say that. Yeah. So that was the beginning before we started. And then we start the tour. We kind of had to walk around the outside of the building. It was creepy on the outside too.
Well, what I wanted to add in is, so when I walked in the beginning, I also had a headache. But right when I walked out of the building, my headache totally disappeared.
Which is pretty interesting. Also, you don't get headaches that often.
No. Yeah, not at all.
So we already had some ghosties trying to attack us from the get-go. I look like a ghost right now in this camera. It's really sad. So we walked around the building. In the first room we went in, we were surrounded by haunted objects, obviously. Dolls, weird like taxidermy stuff. And I felt really off in the first room. I feel like I was getting used to being in this surplus of dark energy. And I was actually feeling dizzy and like lightheaded, and I was kind of trying to breathe through it. And I remember thinking in that first room, like, okay, I hope that this doesn't escalate and I start to feel worse. And it didn't get worse. I ended up kind of like acclimating. Once we started getting more into the tour, I started to feel more and more like okay and more safe, but I was really scared at first. Any thoughts and feelings from when we first went in?
When we first went in, I mean, I had the experience when we first walked into the lobby, but then after that, I think also my body was trying to just kind of adjust to being around all of that just negative energy. So I think it was just trying to decide on if it had a problem, like my body had a problem or not. But no, I think I was fine in the first couple rooms.
Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to also talk about the smell.
Oh gosh.
The whole place smelled so motherfucking haunted. I can't even, like, do you know what I mean? Like, just the smell of haunt.
Yeah.
Like the epitome of what you think a haunted place would smell like. It was like sweet and like kind of perfumey, because they had a bunch of different scents and perfumes, I feel like, going on in there, but also just kind of the smell of like a super old house.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Right. And then that one other room.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. That's on my notes.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the combination of all the smells was just ridiculous.
It was kind of intense, and it really added to the vibe.
It sure did.
Yeah. Oh, I have on here to talk about our first tour guide. We had a few different tour guides. They kind of handed off our group to multiple tour guides. I can't talk. They handed off our group to multiple tour guides throughout the tour. And the first lady we had, no offense to this lady, because like I'm sure she's cool or whatever, but her vibe was kind of, I don't even know how to explain. Just kind of a weird vibe. She was wearing this black cloak thing with like a fuzzy end, and she kept on waving it around while she was talking, almost as if she was trying to like wave off like any bad energy from coming near her while she was talking about everything. That's how I interpreted it, at least. It did seem like she was kind of just trying to get through it. Like either get through the tour or get through her shift or whatever. I feel like it would be a difficult job to be there for hours on end in that haunted place.
Right.
Yeah. Dealing with a lot of dark energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about what you brought up in that certain room. There was a room that was dedicated to Ed Gein, the murderer who would make skin suits and stuff like that.
Which is crazy.
And like a skin lamp. There was like a fake skin lamp in there. There was an actual piece of a skin, like a skin suit that was like one of the real ones in a framed part of the room, like a framed exhibit.
Yeah, but I'm just curious on why it smelled so bad. It smelled like straight up death.
It smelled, oh my God. So when you walk in, also in the middle of the room is the big bucket that he hung a dead body over to drip like blood and guts into. And that original big, like it looked like a big cauldron was in there in the middle. I thought it smelled like flowers, like super sweet when we first went in there. Like I was just getting a very sweet, heavy perfume smell. And I was thinking they must have sprayed a lot of perfume in here to try to make it smell like flowers or a certain smell. But then at the same time, I was getting these like warm clouds of this disgusting smell that I don't even know how to describe. It probably was the smell of death that you're talking about.
You were probably having them ghosts. The ghosts were coming up to you and farting in your face or something.
It smelled like death.
Well, the ghosts are dead. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't smell like a sweet perfume smell. It just smelled like death, and it was giving me like a headache being in there.
You didn't smell the sweet perfume at all?
No, it just smelled like if a body was decaying. That's what it smelled like to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you smelled a dead body before?
Yeah, I worked in a morgue.
Yeah.
And so I've done embalming, and then
I forgot about that.
Put makeup on dead bodies before, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you get like that. It's the same smell as if I were to walk into a freezer with a bunch of dead bodies at the morgue. That's exactly how it smelled.
Interesting. I definitely was getting those whiffs of it too.
Yeah, but that was the only room that smelled that bad. Like, it was crazy.
Ew. It's really creepy to think about. So yeah, that was a very interesting room. The next room I want to talk about was the serial killer room. They had an exhibit with items from a bunch of different serial killers. They even had ashes of some of the serial killers. They had Ted Bundy's original murder bag and Ted Bundy's glasses. They had stuff from the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Who else? They had who was the clown guy? The clown serial killer that killed little boys.
Right.
I forget his name. It'll come to me. But there was stuff about him, artifacts from all that stuff. And in that room, I felt like on the right side of my belly button, a sharp pain. Just in that room the whole time, I was getting like a sharp stabbing pain to the right of my belly button.
Yeah, and which is interesting.
I told Maddie, because I was like, yo, I'm kind of feeling like this right now. I wonder if it's something paranormal. And then once we left that room or that exhibit, it was completely gone for the whole rest of the time.
Wow.
Anything to say about that room?
I didn't really experience anything. I was just kind of wandering around and like reading up on everything. But, I didn't have any weird feelings when I was in the room.
There was like Charles Manson stuff in there. Yeah. So that was interesting. I need to stop saying interesting over and over again. So interesting. Next, we're going to talk about the Dybbuk box, because we did get to see the Dybbuk box, which is supposed to be the most haunted item in the whole world.
Ooh.
And to be honest with you, this was one of the rooms that didn't affect me too much.
Yeah, same.
Just because of the legends around it. Of course, it's a bit spooky, but I didn't feel anything I didn't feel anything really in there. I didn't feel super dark, heavy energy like I did in some of the other rooms. I feel like I felt the most dark energy in rooms with a lot of dolls and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. But I didn't feel anything with the Dybbuk box.
Yeah.
But maybe the little spirit, because they say that there's like a dark shadow that typically kind of hangs out in that room. But maybe the dark shadow kind of spreads within other rooms and maybe affects you that way, potentially.
Yeah, I think also the basement is another hot spot, which we'll talk about.
The basement was cool.
The basement was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. So nothing really of note, but it was just cool to see the Dybbuk box. Actually, we'll talk about the basement next. We got the RIP passes, which allows you to go down to the basement, and everyone else in our group also had the passes, thank God, because I was like, I would have been so scared if me and you were the only ones that had the special passes to go down to the basement.
It would have been so cool.
Oh my God, Maddie, I don't think I would have done it.
Really?
Dead ass. I was so scared. Oh, we also forgot to mention, I was really scared. We were in the Annalise McKell room. And I think it was...
Shout out Annalise.
It was inspiration for The Conjuring, her story.
Yes.
Right? Or no, the exorcism of Emily Rose. maybe was the movie that was inspired by her possession.
You're right. Yeah.
We went in that room, we listened to this whole speech about her story, and then there was a tunnel connected to the room where they, quote unquote, what's the word? Condensed energy into that tunnel is what they said. And we had the option of crawling through the tunnel. And it was just straight up a dark little tunnel that you crawl through. And Maddie went right in front of me and I went right behind her and I got in like maybe a foot and I said nope and I crawled backwards out of the tunnel and didn't do it.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. It was a very short tunnel, but it was pitch black. You couldn't see in front of you. So you just kind of had to like feel around on where you had to turn. But it was cool.
I was really scared.
And then you heard they had like audio of her like making her like weird sounds in the tunnel.
Oh my God.
So when you're walking, all you hear is like you pass by one of the speakers and it's you know, and you're like, oh, okay. Sorry, Annalise.
Excuse me.
My bad.
Pardon.
So, but besides that, it was very, very short.
There were a few other people that also were too scared, so I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. The one girl that came with her friend that left,
yeah,
she didn't even want to do really any of the VIP stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. She didn't even go look at the Dybbuk box. There were people that opted out of seeing certain items because of the reputation of how haunted they are.
Yeah.
So back to the basement topic.
Oh, yeah. I would have stayed down there longer if I could have. I would have asked them more questions.
I would have been down to stay down there longer because the way it worked was we had, like I said, like 13 people in our group. It's a skinny staircase that leads down around into the basement, and the basement was a lot smaller than I thought. It was super tiny. Like 4 by 4 feet, maybe?
Yeah.
5 by 5 feet.
Once you took the hallway down to like that little square, then it was about that.
Yeah, the actual basement was so tiny, and there was a hallway down there leading up to it. I was fucking shitting my pants during that part, even though I think you were in front of me and someone else was behind me. I kept on looking behind me to make sure the man behind me was close behind me. I was so scared. It was so dark. They had other like haunted items in the walls and stuff down there to kind of look at and make it more spooky. And then when we got down to the actual basement, it was super dark, super tiny. We just walked in a quick square and walked right back up. We weren't allowed to stop at all. We had to keep moving. And they had I don't know if it was like an EMF reader or whatever that was stationed in the basement to or EVP that would spit out words and stuff. But I remember walking along one of the walls. It was just a super dark spot on the wall, and I was so scared of it. I couldn't even look at it, like at that wall.
Really?
I couldn't look at that wall. I was so scared, and I wanted to get back up out of there as soon as possible. I think if I was like linking arms with people and super close to people and we could all be together and stay down there for a few minutes, I'd be down, but it was just so dark and heavy, and I was so scared down there. And then the pentagram on the floor was covered up by some flowers or gravel or something.
Yeah, I think they had like a sheet over it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because everyone knows it's there.
Right. I'm not sure. But I enjoyed the experience when I walked down there. And while we took the little loop in the 4x4 section, I wanted to ask questions since they did have that little ghost box.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said hi, and it replied right away and said hi. And
wait, really?
Yeah, and I was like, how are you? And it said good.
Wait, the basement one?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I asked like a couple questions, and then the lady in front of me was trying to ask more, and she was stopping. And I kept telling her, like, you have to keep moving. If not, then our guide is going to come down here. But she was wanting to ask more questions. But yeah, every question we asked, it answered it within 2 seconds. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that there's real spirits down there.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have loved to stay down there longer to hear, like, what else they had to say.
There was a little message from Zak before going down into the basement about, was it one of the previous owners of the house that was texting him about things that had happened in the basement. And it mentioned multiple deaths, a little boy screaming. I don't remember what else, but she was saying that a bunch of this stuff happened, and then Zak tried to ask her more questions about it, and then he like never heard from them again. Right?
They stopped replying.
Yeah.
And right.
Yeah. Okay, we can move on. Maddie's hand is drenched in sweat right now. Both of them, she said. Are you feeling anything weird?
No.
Why do you think they're sweaty right now?
I don't know.
Is it the devil?
Yeah. The David box followed us home, honey.
Next, we'll talk about the Devil's Rocking Chair. That was a pretty cool exhibit. I did get kind of a headache again in that room.
Okay.
But other than that, I didn't have any major experiences with the Devil's Rocking Chair. We got to go up pretty close to it, but obviously not touching it or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. So that was cool to at least see it.
Yeah. And one of the last exhibits we saw was the Demon House staircase with some of the dirt from the original property also.
Right.
And that room was a bit intense for me. They had kind of like a cutout in the wall that opened up to display the staircase and like the dirt and stuff. And there was a baby doll sitting on the staircase. I kind of poked my head in to look around into the opening in the wall, and I got a headache again. And I feel like when I put my head more into the exhibit, I could smell even more of the strong haunted smell. I don't even know how to explain the smell of the spirits.
Right. Telling you, it's the spirit toots.
But yeah, that one definitely felt very creepy.
Okay.
What did you think?
I didn't really experience much. I did stick my head all over that area, but I felt fine.
Mm-hmm. We also learned more information than what I had even researched about some of the different items, which was great. And there were so many parts of the tour that were really cool that I can't even get into because there were just so many different parts of it. It was over 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
Our tour. It was like at least 2.5 hours. And there was all kinds of stuff that we got to see and hear. And it was really incredible. I would rate it a 10 out of 10.
Oh, same here.
I was not disappointed.
No, it was totally worth the money spent.
Yeah.
And I totally recommend getting the VIP pass just so you could do the full experience. It was awesome. It's an experience you don't come across because it's not like you walk into a house that has so much negative energy like that where you're kind of like you could feel it all over your body.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting experience.
We forgot to talk about Peggy the Doll.
I didn't really feel anything from Peggy.
Yeah, I didn't feel anything crazy from Peggy, but what was cool about Peggy was that there was also an EVP box in there so we could talk to her. Mm-hmm. And the guide made us say all together, "Hello, Peggy." And then we all had to say goodbye, Peggy, afterwards. Because he said it was like a Ouija board where we have to say hello and goodbye.
Right.
And we did ask her questions and she did answer.
Yeah.
I think maybe you said, "How are you?" And she said, "Good." And she was replying to stuff pretty spot on. I forgot what else was asked when we were talking to her.
I think she got asked, like, how do you like being there?
I think I said, "Who are you?" or "What are you?" And she said, "Doll." And then the tour guide said, "Are you here to hurt anyone?" And then it sounded like she was having a hard time coming through the EVP after that, or like there was something else with a super deep voice that was trying to talk at the same time.
Right.
And we couldn't really get any clear answers after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then he kind of cut it off and said, "Okay, we're all going to say goodbye." And then he turned it off.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then there was another doll that they said was super haunted, Noma.
Yeah, I missed it when I walked right past her. I didn't even, like, I figured it was going to be kind of set up the same way as Peggy.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it'd be obvious where she's located.
Yeah.
But she's in such a small little box within the hallway.
Yeah.
That I first passed her and then I was like, oh, where was she?
Yeah.
And so I walked back just to go and look. So I didn't feel anything from that.
I also didn't see her the first time and had to walk back, but I didn't feel anything weird from her either. She also looked a lot less creepy than I thought she would.
Right.
But before going into Noma's exhibit, the tour guide was like, I don't fuck with that doll. I'm not going with you guys. Or like something like that.
Yeah, that. And then even Zak was like,
this doll ruined my life or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he says that he never wants to see Noma again.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it almost looked like a mummified something. That's how it looked.
I thought that the face was going to be all distorted, but it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite weird.
Yeah, so that was Peggy the Doll. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about after the tour, we were sitting outside waiting for our Uber and we started chatting with one of the security guards. And he said he had been working there for almost 2 years, which is very rare because they have a lot of turnover. People quit super fast and people often quit on the job.
Right. And also I wanted to add into that is they mentioned when we were in, what's that like big like living room area that we came out of that last door and then we kind of stood in that living room.
Oh, the ballroom?
Is it the ballroom?
With like the ropes?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ballroom.
Okay, so when we were in the ballroom, they had another doll that was there.
Oh, yeah.
And they said that one of the people that worked there that was only there for like a couple months really, really loved this doll particularly. And then he ended up dying from, I don't know what, shortly after that. So I'm sure it's probably connected.
Yeah.
If he had a very strong connection with the doll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very creepy.
Just wanted to add that.
Good addition there. But yeah, the security guard was saying people quit on the spot all the time. And that's why none of the tour guides go down into the basement with the groups because they'll have tour guides that go into the basement and they will quit after going down to the basement.
Right.
So that's why I guess they don't come down with us, which was interesting. And I did notice the tour guides stay out of a lot of the exhibits. They'll explain something and then they let us go through by ourselves.
Right.
So it's pretty creepy. I guess there is a hooded black figure that's often seen that he said really looks like a full body apparition, but it doesn't look transparent. It looks like a genuine solid thing that people see walking around, and people quit because of that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it just seems like it would be a really hard job around all that negativity. So that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
For them to want to quit.
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either.
I would be fucking shitting my pants. I can't even, like, you have to be really, really not scared of that stuff to work in a museum with the most haunted items in the world.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think it's also just like the scared part. I think just, digesting all of that negative and then you take that home with you. So it just seems like it would just drain a lot of your energy. Like they'd take all the happy energy from you.
Yeah, being there every day. I feel like it'd ruin your life.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Did you have anything else significant that the security guard told us?
No, but I wanted to add in, because I don't think we went in depth with the changing of our guides.
Oh, yeah.
So it started off with our first lady guide, and yeah, she was quiet. She was kind of fidgety. She didn't really go into a lot of the rooms with us. But then it got switched to someone else, which I'll let you take over.
Well, the switch to someone else happened when we were in a room that had a wall that we didn't know would push open, but it was like a jump scare type thing where our new tour guide suddenly opened a wall behind one of the exhibits and like startled us. I definitely screamed.
You screamed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You and then the lady next to you screamed.
I was a screamer throughout the tour because there were a few jump scares. And then I liked that tour guide a lot better.
Yeah. Well, you could understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah. His vibe was a bit better.
Yeah, but we didn't have him for very long.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He dipped out literally before our last 2 exhibits.
Yeah. And then we got someone else for the last 2, which I was like, that's so weird that it got spread out between so many different guides.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just kind of odd. Because he mentioned when he was joining us that he was going to be our guide for the remainder of the tour.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
It is kind of weird. I wonder if something happened.
Maybe he's like, I can't do this job no more.
I know.
I'm dipping out. Bye, everybody.
We forgot to mention the part where you go through like the fun house with a bunch of creepy clowns and stuff, and they have clowns popping out at you. And I was a screamer in that part too. I was so scared. I couldn't wait for that part to be over.
Yeah, because they have that one clown costume that some people will like start walking past that specific clown and then turn and face it and like pass out or something.
Oh yeah, there was a security video of a man walking past that clown, looking at it in the face and then passing out. It was so scary to watch. They showed us multiple security footage videos throughout the tour of things that happened in the rooms we were about to go in, which made it even more kind of scary. We didn't talk about Dr. Kevorkian's death van, but because I forgot we did research on that too. We talked about it earlier. I didn't have any crazy experiences in there.
I didn't either. Yeah.
Just to add that in. I know we're jumping around quite a bit, remembering different parts. There was so much to the tour.
Yeah. Are you wanting to talk about Circus?
No, that'll be a different episode. We don't have time to get into that.
Period.
Yeah, I think that's all we have. Is there anything else you want to add about the museum?
No. I just thought it was a fun experience.
Yeah. It was great. I don't think I would do it again.
I agree.
It's kind of like a one and done type of thing.
Yeah, unless we did it like 10 years down the road and he had like a lot of added things to it.
Yeah.
Then I would do that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it anytime soon.
Yeah. We're good for a while.
Oh, a long while.
We got satisfied. We got satisfied by those haunted items.
Yes.
Okay, well, thanks for joining me, Maddie.
Of course, anytime.
And thanks for listening if you're listening to this. And I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.